Right, Algebra 2, 2.4 graphing equations of lines. So we've got some stuff I gotta get you guys to jot down here. So the first thing we got is what is a parent function? A parent function is the most basic function in a family. Okay, so pause the video, get the stuff written down, and we'll go through it. And so for all linear equations, we have f of x equaling x is the parent function. Okay, so that's for all linear equations, that is the parent function. Okay, another way to state this, the f of x equaling y, is just y is equal to x, right? We mentioned that before, that the f of x is the same thing as y. Okay, so this is just y equals x. So another way to think about that is they're just going to equal each other. So 0 is equal to 0. 1 is equal to 1. Okay, so the y and the x are equal to each other. Okay, so basically what that means is, like, when x is 0, y is 0. When x is 1, y is 1. When x is 2, y is 2. Okay, do you see the pattern here? So this is just going to make a nice line like this. So I'll go ahead and draw this out. This probably won't be perfect, but it should be close enough. Okay, so here is the parent function plotted out. All right, so there it is, graphed out as a line. That is the parent function. So we're going to be comparing our lines to this parent function. Okay. All right, so a little review here. So slope-intercept form is y is equal to mx plus b, where m is the slope and b is the y-intercept. Right, so whatever values you have for m and b, that is your slope and y-intercept. So if we have a line like this, y is equal to 2x plus 3. My slope here, my m is equal to 2, and my y-intercept is equal to 3. Okay? And so let's just kind of remember how we start these. We always want to start with the y-intercept. We know that the y-intercept is basically saying this is the point at which the line crosses the y-axis. So if we know that it crosses at this point right here, we have one of our points already. Okay, and then we just use our slope to find the next points. Okay, so it's nice to kind of think about slopes as a fraction. So the number 2 as a whole number can be written as 2 over 1 as a fraction. So if we go up 2, 1, 2 over 1, that's going to be a point. Okay, so that's positive 2, right? But if we go, so that's up, which is positive, right? Up is positive. To the right is positive, right? We know if we have a positive number divided by a positive, we get a positive answer. But also, if we go down 2, which would be negative, and then we go back 1, that's negative as well. And we know that negative 2 divided by negative 1 would equal positive 2. Okay? So, let's go ahead, get rid of this, all these extra lines here. Let's just plot this out. We got 2, up 2 over 1. Up 2 over 1 is going to go off the graph, so let's go down 2, back 1, down 2, back 1, down 2, back 1. And now we can, actually, now that I have this out, I know this is pretty close to the parent function, so I'm going to, first of all, I'm going to graph out the parent function, because we're going to be comparing this line to the parent function. So this is the parent function, and now let's graph out the y is equal to 2x plus 3. So I'm going to get it right on that line. Let's see. That looks pretty close. It probably won't be perfect, but just bear with me. Okay, so here is my parent function, right? This is the f of x equaling x, and this here is y is equal to 2x plus 3. Okay, so if we were to compare these two, Okay, I might say, how does this compare to the parent function? I'm just going to say that it is steeper and it's shifted up 3. Okay, all right, moving on. Let's look at some examples here. So we're going to graph out a couple equations here, and then we'll compare it to the parent function. So I'm going to go ahead and first graph out the parent function. Okay, so here is my parent function up here, right? This is the f of x equaling x, or y is equal to x. Okay, now we're going to plot out a couple equations here. How about y is equal to 3 over 2x minus 4. Well, you guys can see this. Maybe I'll zoom in a little bit more. And my second example, we'll do y is equal to negative 3x plus 2. All right, so we're just going to plot these two out and compare them to the parent function. Okay, so remember, we always start with the y-intercept. If you want to write that down in your margin, you should. If you need that reminder, always start at the y-intercept. So I'm going to do example 1 first. I'm going to start here on the y-axis. Okay, negative 4 is our y-intercept. And now I'm going to follow the slope of 3 over 2. So I'm going to go up 3. Remember, it's the change in y over the change in x. So I'm going to go up 1, 2, 3 in terms of y, and then over 2 in terms of x. And looks like I'm going to keep doing this. 1, 2, 3 over 1, 2. Up 1, 2, 3 over 2. There we go. Okay, and that one's going to be off the graph, so I won't do that. And I'm going to plot out the points here for this one as well. Okay, this one's not a fraction, but remember, this would be the same. Our m value would be negative 3 or negative 3 over positive 1. Okay, not negative 3 over negative 1. Okay, because that would make it a positive slope. Okay, so let's first start with our y-intercept. Always start there. So I'm positive 2 on the y-axis, and I'm going to go down 3, 1, 2, 3, over 1 in the positive direction, right? I went down and then positive 1. Okay, we could also go the opposite, right? So this is equal to negative 3. The same would be true as positive 3 over negative 1. That is equal to a negative 3. So I can actually go up 1, 2, 3, and then back 1. Okay, hopefully that makes sense. So now I'm just going to go ahead and plot these lines out. All right, let's do this one here first. Okay, there we go. Just went ahead and connected those lines. All right, so this line right here is y is equal to 3 over 2x minus 4. And this line up here is y is equal to negative 3x plus 2. So let's compare them to the parent function. So for the first one, this line right here, it is definitely steeper, right? Think about if you had to like climb up this hill. Certainly looks like climbing up this hill would be a little bit harder than this one. Okay, so this one is definitely steeper, and it's shifted down. Down 4. Okay, so the next one, I'll give myself a little room to write here. We're definitely shifted up 2, so let's just mention that. Up 2. Let's see, what else? It's falling, so we should mention that it's falling, or it falls. And the last thing, if you were trying to walk up this hill, I would say this would be steeper or more difficult than walking up this one here. So this is also steeper. Okay, And that is good enough for me in terms of comparing them to the parent function. Okay? All right, I think we'll be done for today. Why don't you guys go ahead and practice problems 1 through 6. All right, and we'll see you in the next video. Later.